Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Hard Rips Lesson of the Week. In today's episode we're going to discuss the rules of surfing and everything you need to know from beginner to advanced and how to stay respectful in the water and make things friendly and safe. So for today's episode guys, we're heading to the Gold Coast on the east coast of Australia because that is home to probably some of the most crowded waves in the world. We're talking Snapper Rocks, we're talking D-Bar. So not only are these lineups some of the most crowded, but they're also some of the most aggressive. And it's where we can see some great examples of people following the rules, but it's also somewhere where we can see people not following the rules. And guys, if you're new here, why don't you subscribe to the channel now, where we upload tutorials to help your surfing progress. And if you're interested in the wetsuits that we wear and the boards that we ride and other gear that we use, you can see all of that in the video description below. Make sure you mention How to Rip for special offers, discounts and even free stuff. So we've broken down the rules of surfing into 6 main parts, in no particular order because they're all of equal importance. So we're going to start with rule number 1, which is don't drop in. So the rules of surfing are more like a code of ethics. Nothing's actually going to happen to you if you don't follow the rules, but it's a good way to stay respectful and have a good time out in the water. Let's start with the groundwork. This guy here is closest to the peak of the wave. Now, because of that, that means that he has right of way when the wave comes, assuming that this is a right-hander. Here we see an example of this surfer here. He's closest to the peak and he has priority, so it's his wave. But you can see this other surfer decides to drop in. So this is the perfect example of a drop in, when another surfer takes off on another surfer's wave. And it's incredibly frustrating for the surfer who had the right of way, particularly when you've been waiting a long time for that wave. Of course, drop-ins can lead to situations like this where you hit each other, and that's no good. Rule number 2 is don't be a snake. So what does it mean to be a snake, and how do we avoid being that? Okay, so in this example we see this surfer. It was his right of way. But then this surfer here actually paddles to the inside. So the other surfer, the second surfer, paddles closest to the peak of the wave. However, it was the other surfer who had the right of way. This is called snaking. It's when you sneak into the inside position of another surfer who had right of way. So rule number 3 refers to not interrupting another surfer's wave. This means that when you're paddling out and there's a surfer on a wave and they're riding, you have to do everything in your power to not interrupt that wave, to not get in their way. Let's have a look at how you do that. So moving for others is a really important thing to do. It's about being aware that when a surfer's on a wave, that it's your responsibility to move. If you don't and you do this, you can stop a surfer from actually catching the wave, or you get in the way when they're on the wave and then you ruin it for them. In this example, we see the first surfer who did the right thing. He paddled away. However, the other surfer just sat where they were. Now, while it didn't actually interrupt this wave, it's still a good example of what not to do. And of course, if you don't move out the way and you make no effort at all, it can lead to situations like this and people can get hurt. Okay, so rule number 4, which follows really closely behind what we just said about not interrupting another surfer's wave. Rule number 4 is controlling your surfboard. Now this means that you need to control that board. Don't bail your board, don't ditch it, throw it to the side if someone's riding on a wave coming towards you, because they're probably going to end up hitting it. Likewise, don't bail your board and go underneath the wave if there's a surfer behind you, because the wave's going to pick up your board and spear it straight into the surfer behind you. So you must control your board at all times. So at a beach like this, which is D-Bar, one of the most crowded waves in the world, there's always surfers to your left, to your right, in front of you and behind you. So you have to be aware of what that board's doing or you'll hurt someone. Rule number 5 is all about you having an awareness of your ability, a realistic awareness of how good you are. This means that don't go out and surf waves that are far beyond your ability. They might be too big, they might be too powerful. If that's the case, choose a beach that allows you to surf smaller, more friendly waves. That's cool, it doesn't matter what level you're at, you need to make smart choices here. If a beginner surfer goes out into a spot which is quite advanced, they're putting themselves at risk. And not only that, they might hurt others along the way. So choose your beach appropriately. So for beginner surfers or surfers with less experience, waves like this, which are a little bit more powerful, a little bit more punchy and really crowded, are a bad place for them to surf. So they need to be smart about what beaches they're actually going to surf at. Waves like this are more appropriate. You can notice how they're a little bit softer and they're not as steep. They can be more forgiving, and on this day too, it wasn't as crowded. So this was a good option for the beginner to intermediate surfer. Now to finalise everything, we have rule number 6, which is sharing. Sharing is caring, and for everyone out in the water, their goal is to have fun. Now, if you're out in the water and you've been getting a lot of waves, your wave count's through the roof, you're having a pretty good surf, you're stoked on it, and you see someone else out there who's struggling, they haven't maybe been getting as many waves as you, why not help them? Why not tell them to take the wave that you're paddling for? Doing this not only makes a huge difference to that surfer because they're getting a wave, it also makes you feel pretty good that you're getting to share the fun around with everyone. This example here is not the kind of sharing that we want to see. Dropping in is not cool. Remember, give the surfer who's on the inside priority and let them have fun on that wave that they've waited for. Thanks for watching the video today, guys. I hope that now you understand what the rules of surfing are. And like I said, it doesn't matter if you're a beginner to advanced, try and adhere by these rules. It will help you have fun, it will help keep everyone else safe and have a good time out there. And remember to like the video, subscribe to our channel and comment below to let us know what else you want to see. Something like this one. On the wave, then looking